What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna go over some Falco X tuning tips and tricks that I like to use and some of my thought process behind the reason why I do specific changes in my tune. So yesterday I was flying on a really windy day and I used the HQ V2 props. Those props are pretty good, but I was just losing my vibe with those. So today we're going back to the V1S props and we're gonna kind of get the quad locked in a little bit more. So stay tuned and let's go over some tuning tips. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do here is just make a few quick adjustments before I take off, since I already have an idea of what I wanna change. So first thing I'm gonna do is, if your quad is feeling a little bit on the mushy side, it could be that your D-term is working maybe more than you'd like. So you have a couple options. You could lower D-term, or you can increase the amount of D-term filtering. So what I'm going to do is increase the amount of filtering that I have. And I'll increase it from 110 down to, we'll do a frequency at, let's do something like 60. Let's see what that feels like. I'm also going to raise the P just a little bit, just by 2. Yaw's fine. And let's see what that does. All right, quad sounds good. Flies smooth so far. So it feels a little bit sharper, which is nice. Let's check out prop wash. Prop wash is pretty good. I'm seeing a little bit of prop wash on the pitch axis. All right, let's come on in real quick. Let's make a couple of adjustments. So I found some prop wash. Found some prop wash on the pitch axis. So what we're gonna do is quickly adjust that. Depending on your quad, you may need to increase D or decrease D is what I typically like to do. What I'm gonna do is increase the D. We'll try 140, let's try 141. And then roll, I kind of want it to feel a little bit snappier, so I'm gonna decrease some of this D term from 128 to 122. And let's go ahead and give that a shot here. All right, still getting some bobbles on pitch. On our side. It's feeling a little snappier, which is nice. Yeah, this is feeling better than the other day. So we're going in the right direction. Ooh, okay. So let's do some more prop wash. That's pretty good. Still getting a little bit on pitch, but honestly, I would rather feel really good than and try and avoid some of that prop wash than like actually tune it out and make it feel a little bit on the mushy side. See, I had some there. Maybe we'll add a little bit more D-term to pitch. Let me just add that D-term to pitch real quick. So we're at 141, let's bring it up to 145. And then roll is feeling pretty decent, so let's just leave that as is. And we'll swap out the batteries and give it another go. Okay, so the last thing we did was increase our D-term on pitch to try and help a little bit more with the prop wash. So let's see how that works out. Probably also smooth things out a little bit too. Yeah, it feels like it smoothed things out a little bit. I'm still getting pretty decent response. I got some prop wash there. Yeah, I'm still getting prop wash for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back and do power loop here. Okay, so I'm getting prop wash on roll a little bit more. I'm noticing a little bit more prop wash on roll. Let's make a quick adjustment there. Yeah. All right, so roll. Let's bring up some of that D-term back up to 120. We'll do 125. I'm also going to bring up the eye just a little bit to see if it keeps it a little bit more solid, locked in. I might not like it. Typically with eye, if I raise it too high, what'll happen is you'll lose out on some of that nice crisp P feeling that you get. So I don't like to raise it too high on the roll axis. On the pitch axis, I don't really care too much. Plus it has more weight with the GoPro, so it needs to be a little bit higher. And then yaw, I honestly pretty much just leave at those settings almost all the time. I don't really change it too much. Okay, so what we were doing, we raised our D a little bit more on the roll. Matter of fact, let's just go up to 126. And then pitch, I'm gonna raise it up again from 145 to 148, just to help out a little bit more. So this essentially will probably smooth out my sticks a little bit, and in theory, help out with prop wash. Okay, so all of that was perfectly fine. Still a little bit of prop wash there, but honestly, okay. I'm okay with getting just a smidge prop wash if it feels really nice and snappy. Yeah, so this is feeling pretty good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Timer 1 elapsed. Yeah, this is feeling much better than the other day. bit of prop wash there, but I'm kind of just doing some harder maneuvers. And this battery's done, so I should probably come back in. Cool, so these are my final settings as of today. So we got roll, pitch, and yaw. Roll, pitch, yaw. Sim is enabled, sim boost, I like to have it at 1.1, and whisper is also enabled. What happens if I increase sim boost any more than this, it starts to actually feel like a simulator where you kind of like lose some of your momentum. So I like to have a little bit of that because it kind of keeps the quad a little bit more of a locked feeling, but I don't like to go past 1.1 to 1.15-ish. So those are my settings there. These are my actual settings for my rates. Nothing crazy there. Yaw's a little bit less overall in speed. And then we have our filtering, frequency, frequency, frequency. These are the filters that I have. I'm able to get away with this filtering partially because I'm using whisper mode. If you're not using whisper mode, you may need more filtering, or you may need more filtering even with whisper mode. So if you need a little bit more filtering, you could change this one to maybe like a biquad. That'll give you some decent filtering. And if you need even more filtering than that, you could also change this to biquad and maybe raise the numbers up to like probably like 100, start off there. So anyways, those are my filter settings. I personally don't use any of the other settings below. Dynamic AA, I don't really need that for my setup. AA strength, D-term AA. I don't like any of these because this probably adds latency and no one is really going to admit it, but I'm pretty sure it does add latency, so I don't need any of that extra stuff. And my P-curve, TPA, I, and D. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully this was helpful for you all, and I'll catch you all later.